Yeah, this one's going to be a pretty difficult topic to talk about, so viewer discretion is advised. But today we'll be talking about Gus Johnson and his apparent mistreatment of his girlfriend. I'm pretty sure it's his ex at the moment, but let's talk about current events, right? Let's talk about, step by step before we get to the big honcho, right? So on October 22nd, Albina Sabrina, the ex of Gus Johnson, made a video called My Pregnancy. And in this video, she details about her, unfortunate situation with her pregnancy. Has something to do with, her wanting to abort the child, but then not really, because she was being forced to do it, even though, it was like she didn't really have that choice at the end of the day, right? So, like, even if she wanted to or not, she didn't have that choice, because the boyfriend, who, throughout the entire video, she does not mention the name of said boyfriend, which, that's kind of key as well. She doesn't say it at all, but apparently this boyfriend forced her to have this abortion, or tried to get the abortion, but then more complications came around, and she's basically dying, and the boyfriend was not there. The boyfriend was not supportive. The boyfriend was saying a lot of shitty things, like, oh, other people would leave you at this point because she was suffering. She was, as she says, broken in that situation, because again, she had some complications with her reproductive systems or organs. So the entire situation was extremely unfortunate. She suffered a lot, and I think it's safe to say that whoever the boyfriend was is very shitty. All right, they basically left her to die. All right, and they were kind of frustrating having to take care of her. Oh, boo-hoo. Yeah, it's rough, but the fact how they really just did not care from her side of the story, right? Like how she was telling it, like, it really did seem that this individual did not care. Now, what does this have to do with Gus Johnson? Number one, again, this is the girlfriend of Gus Johnson, right? Sabrina used to date Gus Johnson, right? And someone, I believe on Reddit, linked a Instagram post, because everyone was wondering, who could the boyfriend be? Because again, she doesn't mention the name of the boyfriend. And people were like, was it Gus? Was it Gus? And apparently, it might have been Gus. October 23rd, 2018, Gus Johnson, or Johnson Gus, posted this image of Sabrina. And this is what he has to say. Back home, after a long night of surgery at the hospital for Sabrina. This has been our 12th hospital visit in the last month. This last month has been real shitty, with so much worry and medical care, and we just want to be done with it. Hopefully, this should be the last procedure before her recovery checks up. We're doing the best we can over here, and we appreciate you. I just realized that this is the first time I've acknowledged my girlfriend publicly and stuff. We've been dating for almost a year now. It kicks ass. She's hot. Best lady in 2018. So, with that being said, though, with these two things linked, it might be safe to say that the boyfriend, who she was referring to in this video, was Gus Johnson. So to reiterate my statement, it seems like Gus Johnson from Sabrina's side of the story is a very horrible, shitty individual who left her to die, basically. But, of course, she's still alive, because if she were dead, how would she be making this video? Kinda sussy. Now, Gus did respond to this. This is what he has to say. I'm aware of a recent video that calls out some actions that I'm not proud of, and I want to apologize. The circumstances were extremely hard and complicated for the both of us, but I can't even begin to imagine how difficult it was for her. We were young and not remotely prepared to deal with all the realities of a long-lasting and traumatic medical situation. During the talks, counseling, and therapy we went through together following this time, I came to grips with my behavior and recognized my shortcomings, and I would like her to know just how deeply sorry I am. I fully realize what I did wrong and wish I could change how I responded and acted during this time. I've grown a great deal since that happened, and I wish I knew then what I know now. I will continue to grow and learn and strive to be a better person every day. At this time, I am stepping away from the podcast, and the remainder of this year's live shows will be canceled, with full refunds being issued. I will also be taking some time off from posting and working for a while. So there's his statement right there. Some of you might say that's not, very, it's not what's the word I'm looking for? It's not enough. Some people might say it's enough, but it's definitely up to the reader to come up to their own conclusions. But when it comes to this particular situation, weak men will falter. All right, that's just something that's going to happen, especially in this particular situation. Like, if you watch the video, which I highly recommend you do, this video right here, like, hearing this, I decided to put myself in that situation, the side of Gus, right? And I came up to my own conclusion, and I was like, you know what? I would probably, be as less or maybe as shitty as Gus. All right, because weak men in this situation, in this very difficult situation, will falter. And Gus, he failed. Okay, like, he straight up left her to die. He was like, don't be ridiculous and shit like that. It was very rough. It was very rough to hear Sabrina tell her side of the story. Originally, before watching the video, I was trying to think, like, okay, what's going on here? Because I've heard bits and pieces, and then, saw other people talking about it from, my side of the sphere, and I was like, I don't know, like, maybe it's not as bad, as maybe she's just overreacting or some shit like that. But then after watching the video, I was like, fuck me. Okay, just straight up fuck me. That's rough. That's fucking rough, dude. And I really shouldn't be laughing, but goddamn, it definitely gave me a new perspective on, this entire situation. I was like, okay, well, apparently this is definitely fucked up. If all of this pans out to be true, this is absolutely fucked up. The last thing I want to do is excuse Gus for what he did to Sabrina, for being, just not there. Like, one would even wonder, like, would he be even sad about the death of Sabrina if it came to that point? Because this surgery, mind you, could have resulted in her death. In fact, the system, the medical system, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, was also at fault here, because they forced her to do a lot of hoops. They go through hoops, and then they're like, oh, you're fine. It was like, oh, it's this and that. But in reality, it was something far much worse than what they were saying. It was like, oh, you just have gas, or actually, it was actually something ruptured in her, like, uterus or something like that. And they didn't realize it until, like, it was about to be too late. Like, if they would have caught it earlier, she wouldn't have gone through all of this, basically. Like, she would have been able to, walk out of this in a better state. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So definitely the medical system failed her horrendously. But at least I can say I can somewhat understand why he failed so much, because someone of his age at that time, he has a lot of fame, he has a lot of responsibilities and shit like that. I think it would be very easy for him to dismiss her like that. But again, I am not going to excuse that, absolutely not, but it's understandable. It's like, I get it, but it shouldn't be done. Okay, like, you gotta put your priorities straight. And obviously he was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and open some Pokemon cards on stream instead of going to my girlfriend who's currently dying, who's currently on a cold silver table being operated on right now. I gotta open a little Pokemon cards to see if I get the little fat Pikachu. So, yeah, no, fuck him. No, fuck him. Straight up, fuck him. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the situation. Sabrina making a video talking about her story that unfortunately had something to do with Gus being a very horrible individual, and then Gus, posting a response to this. So, there you go. Yeah, it's not a pretty situation. All right, it's not a good one at all, but it has to be talked about. Let me know what you guys thought about this situation in the comment section down below. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say about this. But anyways, thank you everyone for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. But with all that being said, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.